try a few more examples of a long division problems with a decimal remainder, okay? Instead of using a remainder or a fraction, we're going to use a decimal. All right, so let's take a look. Here I have the problem 89 divided by 4. 89 divided by 4. So I'm going to start with my largest place value, which here in the tens place is the 8. And I'm going to think, well, how many groups of 4 can I take out of 8? Or what times 4 is going to get me closest to 8? And luckily, I know that 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. I don't have anything left over here, but I do have my ones I need to bring down. And now I have a 9. Well, what times 4 is going to get me close to 9? Well, it's still 2, right? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, and I don't have 12. I only have 9 here. So I'm going to put my 2 up here. 2 times 4 is 8. And then when I subtract 9, take away 8, I have 1. Okay, if you're writing this problem out along with me with this video, take a second to catch up to me now. All right, so here is where when we were in younger grades, we would have just put up here remainder 1 and been done with it. We would have been, oh, remainder 1, I'm finished. But now we're going to be using decimal remainder instead of just writing remainder out or making it into a fraction. So here I'm going to say, well, 89 is the same as 89 and 0 tenths. So I'm going to put that 0 and I'm going to put a decimal point into my quotient because I'm going to keep going. I'm going to find out, well, what decimal is my remainder equal to? All right, so I'm going to bring the 0 down next to my 1 that I had left over. And now I'm going to look and I have a new number to divide by, which is 10. Okay, so now I need to think, well, how many groups of 4 can I get from 10? Okay, well, again, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 3 is 12, so I can't use 3. I'm going to have to use 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And when I subtract, oh, I still have something left over. Let me slide down here. I'm running out of space. I still have something left over. I have a 2 left over. So again, I'm going to add another 0 in my hundredths place, another 0 in my hundredths place to bring that down. So now I have the number 20. So I'm going to do 20 divided by 4. Think about how many groups of 4 are going to give me 20. I know that 4 times 5 is 20, so I'm going to put 5 up here in my quotient. 5 times 4 is 20. And when I subtract, I won't have anything left over there. So my quotient is 22 and 25 hundredths. Okay, so if the last couple problems, we only were adding 1 0, but we can keep adding zeros until we have nothing left down here at the bottom. So 22 and 25 hundredths. Let's try another example. Let's do the problem 310 divided by 8. 310 divided by 8. Okay, I'm going to try to start it up a little higher so we don't run out of space. 310 divided by 8. I'm going to take a look at my problem, and I have 3 in my hundredths place, and I know that 3 is less than 8, so I'm not going to be able to get in groups of 8 out of 3. So let's take a look at 31. Okay, I can take groups of 8 out of 31, and I'm going to think about my 8's times tables. 8 times 4 is 24. Nope, sorry, 8 times 4 is 32. So that's too many. So let's go down to 8 times 3, which is 24. 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to use 3 up here. Okay. 3 times 8 is 24. And when I subtract this, take a second to subtract it on your own, guys. I'm going to get 7. Okay, I'm going to get 7 left over. And I just look next door. I have another number to go down. Let's bring down my 0. So now I have the number 70. Okay, I need to see, well, how many groups of 8 can I get out of 70? Or what times 8 is going to get me the closest to 70? So I know that 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. 72 is greater than 70, so I can't use that. I'm going to have to use 8 times 8. So my 8 in my quotient. 8 times 8 is 64. I'm going to subtract to see how many I have left. Well, 70 take away 64 is 6. And it looks like I don't have anything else to bring down, but remember, we're not using a remainder. We're going to use a decimal. So I'm going to add a decimal to my dividend. I'm going to add a decimal to my quotient. I'm going to put the 0 in my tens place and bring that down here next to my 6. So now I have 60. 60 divided by 8. Well, I know that's 8 times 8 is 64, so it can't be 8. That's too many. So let's try 8 times 7, which is 56. So I'm going to put a 7 up here. 7 times 8 is 56. When I subtract that, I'll have 4 left over. I need to bring down another 0 because I don't have 0 here. I'm going to bring this one down, add it to the hundreds place, bring it down to now I have a 40. 40 divided by 8. What times 8 is going to get me close to 40? I know that 8 times 5 equals 40. So I'm going to put a 5 up here. 5 times 8 is 40. Now I have nothing left when I subtract, so I know that I'm done my problem. My quotient here is 38 and 7,500. So 310 divided by 8 is 38 and 7,500.